Good evening, masses of the internet. I am kitsuneinferno, and I am here to basically waste 15 minutes of your life doing absolutely nothing. Um, However, I'm going to go ahead and throw together a theme today, and this video is basically going to be all about the monthly competition that we hold over at Arlong Park. I happen to be one of the organizers in charge of said competition, and I am a very poor one at that. But we've got other um, marginally better looking judges, like pretty much the biggest mastermind behind all of it, Uncle Kenny, and the lovely and radiant RPGJay, and our resident reader extraordinaire, Cuddles. Um, well, I haven't actually explained what this competition is, have I? We sit around and write and write. We write stories. Usually they have to meet a certain length requirement of about like 5,000 characters, but overall, we have a monthly competition where everybody comes and they submit stories and they, get them critiqued. The whole point of it is totally not to motivate our writers. All we want to do here is we just want to figure out who the best writer is through sheer bloody combat with our pens. Nah, I'm just kidding. It really is all about just motivating everybody to write and stuff. Because if you're not writing and stuff, then you're a loser. Not really. Excuse me. That was horrible. Okay. So I figure I'm going to spend the next few minutes or whatever doing dramatic readings. Good gosh. Of the I'm going to do dramatic readings of a few of our stories here that are part of the competition. Like, for instance, let's take a look at the ever delightful Yukino by Cuddles the Dark. Yukino is probably the longest running story that we have participating in the competition. I don't know the exact number of chapters, but it is certainly one of the higher numbers. So let me see if I can pull a random. Okay. It was Monday morning when he got a call from the police. Issei remembered because Mondays were usually quiet and monitor transmissions cut in like an unwanted cherry pit in the throat. He hit the receive key much harder than he intended to shut off the call tone, and an image of a rough-faced older man appeared on screen. Hello? May I speak to Dr. Yukino Issei? This is Detective Suzube. This is he. Which one did it? Issei said without a beat. The officer on the other side laughed. This one was new to dealing with uncured patients. That much was obvious. Actually, I'm afraid it's a little more serious than that. The detective's tone evaporated what little was left of his previous mirth. What do you mean, sir? Do you know a Goyle by the name of Yukino Nagawa? Oh, that cannot be good. Try to keep everyone calm. I'll be there shortly to help with whatever you need. Issei was already getting up. Every once in a while, he'd have to visit a patient's home to defuse a situation. It was nothing usually too serious. More often than not, it was someone just having a meltdown and disturbing the peace. Still, legally, as the one to take on Yukino's case, it was his responsibility to make sure he wasn't lax in his duties to cure her. Quite a few talking doctors lost their license because they didn't take their work seriously. Instead of looking relieved, the man on the other side looked a lot more uncomfortable. Then you don't know where she is. That's a shame. What did he say? Oh, I'm sorry, I seem to have got the characters mixed up there. What did he say? The good detective continued. No, that's not right. Darn it, Cuddles, I got lost. This is all your fault. The mother tells us that she's gotten rather fond of you, so we thought your office would be a good lead. My office is still miles away from her house. I don't think that she can easily get here, Issei replied, plopping down on his chair and wiping his brow. It gets worse. We can't decide if this is a kidnapping, or if she just ran away. Did she go off with a stranger? He started sweating more. Issei wouldn't get into trouble for that, but the idea of her being plucked up by some uncured psychopath was enough to raise the hair on the back of his neck. Please, can you tell me what you know? He pleaded. Well, pal, I can tell you what I can so far. There was a sound of paper rustling as he looked through something below the screen's view. Suzube was checking his notepad. Last night, at a yet to be determined time, Yukino left the house. The door was locked, but the key kept in it was missing. That means she took the key with her and planned to return. There was no break-in. That much was good news. What makes you think this is a kidnapping? It sounds like she just up and left. At first, that's how it looked. The girl was discovered missing when her mother went to wake her up at around 6:30. But her bed was empty, and as said before, the key was missing from the door. Miss Nagawa called the police and searched around the apartment complex for hours, but nothing doing. Is it possible someone could have lured her outside? Not likely. I'm told that the child doesn't take too easily to change, prefers to stay at home. Plus, the missing key, which again indicates that she planned to be out for a while. If somebody had lured her to kidnap her, they would most likely just lead away, saying they needed something quick from her. Yukino planned to be gone for quite a while. That made sense. And I just totally butchered your character there, or your... sorry. Yeah, that was a brief excerpt of Yukino by me making a fool of myself. But Cuddles is the one who wrote it, and trust me, it's good. It's one of the best we have available to read. Next up, I'm gonna pull a random excerpt from Greaser by RPGJay. I love Greaser. It's one of my favorites on the site. And it's written in comic form, so it's kind of interesting. A rusted old door is opening, making a horrid creaking sound. Harris walks into a dank, depressing, and barely lit room. It is cramped and has noticeable layers of dust lightly covering every inch of the room. Under the flickering light of the room are Adrian, Nico, and Charlotte sitting in chairs. Eddie and Mary are leaning against the beat-up and pipe-peeling walls. Why did we get called here on the break room? This is beginning to look like an intervention, Harris said. If this were an intervention, this room would be filled with people who give a damn. Or we could have more serious problems than Nico stealing pins from the supply closet, Mary answered gruffly. Hey, how did you know that? Nico asked with a surprised tone. You just told me. I'll be sending you the bill later, Mary replied. Ugh. Hate to steal Harris's line, but why are we here? Adrian said. Simple. Let me scroll down here. Simple. The health inspector is going to pay us a visit today. Don't you think we should spruce this place up if we know the health inspector is coming? Charlotte asked. Translation. This rickety old building is going to get condemned, Adrian added. Nonsense. Mary slapped the wall. This building is completely safe. Mary walked into the room. Hey, Mary, I got that briefcase you want. And then pieces of the ceiling collapsed on top of Mary, knocking him to the ground. Mary took the black briefcase, leaving Mary lying on the floor in pain. Thank you, sir. Our building has a few minor issues. The important thing is we are not going to fail the health inspection. Let me guess. You're paying the inspector off with whatever is in that briefcase, Harris replied. Precisely. Did you call us down here just to remind us how illegal this business is? Harris asked. Oh, Harris, you wound me. Not as much as I want to, I assure you, he thought. I am being gracious enough to let each of you know that he is also getting a free lunch that you're going to make. So make the best meals of your lives. Alright. You can read more Greaser in our lovely writing section. And like I said, it's good. It's really fun, especially if you like shonen stuff. Alright, what's next? Ooh, a thread by Shuhan. Oh, wait. Wait, I'm in the wrong thread. Yeah, I was totally gonna come along and reprimand you, Shuhan, for the An Average Day thread, but I clicked into the Tattered Journal thread, ruining the joke. So I guess you're cool. For now. Whatever. Darn it. Ooh, here's some Thriller Blend. Okay. Thriller Blend is an exciting Halloween-y type story written by our very own Uncle Kenny. It's just he needs to release more very, very soon because okay, the scene is wherever the never-ending story took place. The author is sure that it has a name. Brittany's hand comes out of the pages and rips young Boogie's tongue out of his mouth, sending him into a fit of pain. Young Boogie picks his tongue up off the ground and places it back into his mouth. Ouch! Then angrily looks at the pages in the book, crouched over dramatically. Jeez, pal, what's your deal? From within the magical pages of the book, Brittany's voice can be heard. Check it! I don't appreciate getting eaten. I'm not food, yo! Boogie strains his one eye to look at the page, which glows each time Brittany speaks. What are you, then? The letters on the page assemble to paint a makeshift picture of Brittany's face, and then she speaks. I'm Brittany Bright, out of sight! Gah! Boogie jumps back from the sudden assembly of letters into a picture. Hey, where'd you go, yo? You're a girl! Brittany can't see Boogie because the book is facing up, and he had cowardly jumped away. Duh! I'm not a dude! But if you're a girl, I've never seen a girl that up close before. What's so funny? You're pretty whack. Wait, you're pretty whack, huh? Hey! He moves closer to the book. I have better things going on, is all. He blushes slightly. Whack! Boogie immediately looks at the book angrily. What do you know? You have no idea the kind of pressure I go through. It's not easy at all living up to a title like the Boogeyman. My dad is the kind of scary and strong I'll never be. There's a bit of silence before Brittany's voice is heard once again. Why don't you read the book? Huh? Read the book. There's a journey I need to finish, yo, but I need you to turn the pages. Yeah, fine. I don't have anything else to do. Brittany's image dissipates back into the words from before, and young Boogie picks the novel back up. I had just encountered the Rock Man, having lost his friends to the something, and continued on my journey, knowing it was the only way I could help him. And that was a brief excerpt of, well, Thriller Blend. Gotta love Kenny and his fun characters, and I am sorry if my accents have been horrible. I'm just bored, and you guys have kind of been asking for it. Anyway, we are almost out of time, so I'd like to, tell everybody, if you're even remotely interested in the monthly competition, you don't have to be a judge, you don't have to be a writer, you don't have to really do anything except, you can just read our stories and give us feedback, because we love feedback. It's our lifeblood here. Anyway, the writing section is always there, so if you want to read something, it is there to read. So, don't forget about us. We love your feedback, and that's all the time I have. Bye.